Neat stuff, neat stuff.
Hi there, Scary Gary. Glad you guys came back. Well, today we're going to talk about making your RV a little more pet friendly. I got this idea from the YouTube channel Downsizing Makes Sense, and they did a video on putting a rubber tread on top of the stairs. We've all seen the problems you have with trying to get the dog up the stairs or down the stairs, and Finley was no exception to the rule. I had lots of trouble trying to get him to go down or up. I got the rubber treads off of Amazon. They cost about $60 for 5 of them. I need 3 on the Lipitor steps, which left me an extra 2. And I use those to put them on the back steps, which we don't use those back steps that much, but why not? I mean, they actually, even if you don't have a pet, they're a pretty good thing to put on there because you take your step from being a aluminum step to having an actual rubber grip. One of the first things you have to do is cut the rubber treads down to the proper size, which they were definitely too wide, and they were a little bit too thick from front to back. So I had to trim some off that side, and I had to trim off the ends, which I will use the ends when we talk about later when I did the back steps. Now, what Downsizing Made Sense did was they cleaned the steps, they put acetone on the steps to clean them even a little better, and then they used double stick tape on their steps. I did exactly the same thing as they did, but the double stick tape, and I actually got the double stick Gorilla tape, and when I flipped the steps up in the trailer, drove a while, they fell down. I basically tried one to start out with to see how it would work and things. So I decided, let's change things up a little bit. Again, I cleaned the step again with the same method. But this time I just had some rubber cement and the equivalent of liquid nail. But I bought a smaller tube of it, and I tried it on there. And I put it on the one step and went for a few trips. Never came off. So I said, okay, this is the best method to use. So I went ahead and did the other 2 steps on our main entrance. And then I went ahead and did the other entrance to the trailer, which is not a Lipitor solid step system. It's basically your standard fold out steps. The only difference with those is when I put those steps on there, I had 2 left of my 5, and there was 3 steps back there also, so I had to put one together on it. But it glued down very well. After I got the steps done, Finley was a little reluctant to still go up and down the steps. He just did not, I mean, going down, I could get him to do it every once in a while. And it was, when his feet weren't slipping, so he did go down. But to go back up, he was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, no. You've got to put yourself in the position of a dog. You've got to be down low. And when you're looking low, you're not looking at this flat step that you're looking at like this, You're looking at the step that's like this. And, so it makes a big difference. And they also say dogs, especially older dogs, they might get cataracts and they may have problems. I know if you've watched Keep Your Daydream, that the very first episodes of it, their old dog that they had so much trouble getting up and down the steps. And said the same thing, that it was a problem with it because of the cataracts and not seeing the steps and things like this. So what this camper magazine showed was you take a piece of black material. In this case, I got a piece of, for lack of a better word, black cardboard. It's plastic, but it's like cardboard, but it's a sheet. I got it from a art supply store. It didn't even cost $5. I think it was like 3 maybe, or maybe just something. And you get different sizes, but I just got the size I needed. And then I trimmed it down. And then I trimmed out for whatever devices, because your Lipitor steps have a little catch on the one side that stops it, and on the other side they have a release that you have to pull. So, and then I trimmed it down far enough that I can use the adjustment steps, because the first thing I tried was I tried to put it all the way up so they couldn't see it, but I needed to keep it down enough where I can actually push the little pins so I can adjust the legs when it comes time. Then all I did was I used some Gorilla black tape, and I just taped it to it. I debated whether trying to glue it to it or screw it to it, but I got to thinking, let's just give this a try to start out with. And so far, that tape is done very well. I usually, every time I go to it, I feel it and push it back up, make sure there's no movement and things. But it blacks it out very well. And after we did that, Finley doesn't have as near as problem going up or down the steps as he ever did. I think going down is he's just feeling more comfortable about it. But going up, he just like go straight up it, you know. But as I've said before, you know, when we go camping, we like to take our friends, and who's a better friend than your good old dog, you know. So try to make your trailer pet friendly. And I sure hope you've enjoyed, and I sure hope to see you next week.
If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up.
Turn on your post notifications.
Put the comments down below. Subscribe and you make me happy.
Be careful.